Hello everybody, Dusty Sage here at Disneyland for another Friday Live at 5, and I barely made it today, but luckily I have a very special guest with me today. This is my very, very good friend, Lauren Masarek. She is a travel planner, but she's also a podcaster. We'll talk all about her as we go through today. She's also not a Disneyland local, so it's very special that she's here with me today, and we're going to have my view as a crusty old Disneyland local and her view as a vacationer who comes here because she loves the park. So you're going to get a really interesting view today. So many things to discuss. Magic Key lawsuit settled, and instantly Disneyland suspends all sales for Magic Keys. So we'll talk about that. We're going to look at Halloween in the park. Maybe wander by the Treehouse. We have some exciting news from there. We're going to also go over by Tiana's, which has just opened, and talk about the food, what we love, what's maybe a little too spicy, perhaps a little salty. I'm going to turn this around and we're going to have a lot to share today. My big finger there. We are up here at the train station, a lovely place to start a video because you get a good overview of the park and how it looks at Halloween time. So the omnibus is just coming around town square. You see all the pumpkins around the hub, the big giant Mickey pumpkin on the other side of the flagpole. So what is the park like today? Is it very busy?
So we haven't been in long, but it feels busy, but the wait times are low.
The wait times are low.
Yeah.
That's all that's important.
That's all that matters.
And you know, there's so much extra to do at Halloween time that it actually helps soak up the crowds a little more. People are waiting in line to do things like take their picture with a giant pumpkin.
Yeah, this is the shortest line I've seen since we got here.
And the parade is starting soon. Will you be staying for fireworks tonight to see Halloween screens?
Absolutely will.
And have you seen that show before?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, it's such a treat.
I'm excited.
Look at this beautiful view, folks.
Stay cheese, guys.
So we're headed down Main Street, USA, just like we're tourists.
I am a tourist.
You are a tourist. I wish I could still experience the parks like a tourist. It's funny, there's so many parks that I go to on a regular basis, so I go in and I don't even take a moment to enjoy the scene.
Yep.
Sometimes. I just I'm looking for what's new, what's broken, what I need to write about.
Yep.
And I forget that I'm in the happiest place on earth.
Yep, that's how I am in world.
You know, I'm going to tell people while we're walking down Main Street, and this is all the same as it was last week when we did the Halloween kickoff. Pumpkins everywhere, the windows have all been decorated. It looks magical, particularly at night. So I'm going to tell you all a little story about how Lauren and I met. Before the pandemic, a couple years before, there was a big press event at Disneyland Paris, and they called it the last minute and invited us to go to Paris. And you don't say no.
Nope.
When you're invited to go to Paris, you just say how many days and when do we leave?
Passport?
Exactly. And that was, I think, the first question they asked me was, before they even told me what was coming up, do you have a passport? Like, oh yes, I think that I got invited just because I had a valid passport.
Me too.
And I got there and I knew no one. And we had dinner one night and Lauren sat next to me and I just fell in love with her instantly.
Same.
And we spent that whole trip together.
We did. We're
saw
inseparable.
The beautiful fireworks in
Yeah.
front of their castle with the fountains and so magical.
Nice.
And we did that. What was that Western show?
Oh my God, the rodeo.
Yeah. Oh, that was so much fun and so different. Like what Disney park has like horseback riders?
Yeah, exactly. It was really cute, actually.
It was really neat. And we just loved that trip.
It was fantastic.
And we've remained friendly ever since. And we live in different parts of the country. Where is
New
it?
Jersey?
Jersey. She's literally on the opposite side of the country from where we are here at Disneyland. So Florida is really your local park.
That's my home park, yeah.
And you go there frequently?
Yeah, like once a month.
And how do you compare Disneyland to Disney World? And I'm not asking you to say which is your favorite, but what are the strengths of each?
I mean, so World, of course, is bigger and has, you know, a ton of things. I love the smallness of this park and how there's so much jam-packed into it. I feel like it's a little homier. It's a little bit more comfortable. So I try to come, whenever I can come here, I jump on it.
Yeah,
so.
Disneyland is a very doable vacation. Like if you don't have
It
as many
is.
days,
Yes.
do Disneyland because you can get it all done in 2 days. Look at the hub is not busy. There were only a couple people waiting to have photos. This is odd for a Friday.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But I do think that situation is going on right now where Friday, Saturday, Sunday is more expensive than during the week. And so you get more people during the week than you do on the weekends.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's a huge price differential. It can be $169, $179 on Friday and Saturday and $104 during the week sometimes.
Oh, wow.
It's a big, big difference. We also have that whole issue with passes and which ones are blocked out. We have 4 levels of passes here, and the 2 lower passes are for the most part blocked out on the weekends.
Yep.
And the upper tier passes have mostly availability on the weekends, particularly the top tier pass. By the way, all 4 of those passes are now sold out, at least temporarily. And today just happens to have been the same day that the class action lawsuit was settled with Disney on the Magic Keys. And when the Magic Keys were released and you had to have a park reservation, Disney maybe wasn't clear when they said that top tier pass had no blackouts. You could go every day of the year if you wanted, except you needed to have a park reservation, and it was very hard to get those reservations, and for a time, entire months would be sold out, and you had paid, well over $1,000 for a pass that you couldn't use.
Yep.
So the lawsuit ensued, and it's taken years, but it is settled, and Disney agreed to pay tens of millions of dollars. It's going to work out to be over around $65-ish per pass holder for that top tier pass. The old Dream Key, for those of you that were Dream Key holders. It's not a lot of money, but it's enough that it's so much money for Disney that they sold out all the current passes, and we expect that there will be some big changes, including a big enough price increase to pay off that huge settlement.
That sounds accurate.
You'll get a little money back, and then next time you renew, you'll pay it all back to Disney. Everybody keeps asking, what do you think will happen, Dusty? What are you going to do with your money? Well, I'm not going to do anything with that money because I'm going to have to give it right back to Disney. So we are about to come upon a very exciting thing. Now, you still have in Florida a little something called the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse.
Yes.
Here at Disneyland, we lost our Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse decades ago, and it became the Tarzan Treehouse.
Yep.
We're partially paid for by money from the animated film, so that production, we're going to go over in the shade here because it is in the 90s here at Disneyland, folks, so we are sweltering, but all of the scaffolding for the most part has come down in the front. There's a little tiny bit left on the right-hand side there, but our Tarzan Treehouse closed, and they're reverting it back to be very similar to Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse again. What comes around goes around. But they've done something very clever to make it more modern. If you're going to spend all that money to change the theming, fix all this ancient infrastructure, you need to modernize, because Swiss Family Robinson, what kid knows who that is?
Yep.
So it's inspired by Walt Disney's Swiss Family Robinson, but it's a new family that lives there. Now, have you seen anything at all about the treehouse yet?
No, I've seen this piece as I walk by.
And
that's
it looks a lot like your treehouse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think the treehouse in Florida has a much thicker canopy to it, and it seems like more round.
Yes.
And ours is very exposed in the front so that you see more of the structure. I think this makes you want to go climb in there. And it looks really pretty here at the edge of Adventureland and next to New Orleans Square, so you see all of our lands just kind of touch each other. It's jarring, isn't it?
But it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And I like that there's some transitional theming here. So if you look at the lanterns over there, and I'm going to zoom in, you all will lose our audio for 1 second while we zoom. And look at those lanterns there. So there are lanterns that look like giant baskets that are kind of on the left-hand side of your screen. And then on the right-hand side, there are lanterns that look like they're from the Bayou.
Yeah.
That is the dividing line between Adventureland and New Orleans Square. So you see similar types of posts that hold those lanterns, but those shades themselves kind of transition from one land to the other. I thought that was
That's
pretty
interesting.
clever.
That's clever.
Yeah, I love those little nods. And as long as we're zoomed in, we're going to show you. See those weird little kind of bamboo buckets on the string? That is a water system. There's a giant water wheel. You see a little bit of a white covered wheel there at the bottom. It's churning and it dumps water into those little buckets. They will go up, up, up and dump into a cistern up there. And then the water actually flows all the way through the treehouse. So each of the rooms in the treehouse have running water.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And all of that is, you know, we used to have a system like that with our original treehouse, but it was lost when they turned it into Tarzan. I'm going to zoom back out. The other thing we lost is right here about where we're standing. There used to be a huge tree trunk and a bridge that took you straight into the upper levels of the treehouse, but it was blocking traffic. So they pulled it out, they opened up this walkway so that traffic could flow a little smoother, and now you're going to enter the tree directly underneath the trunk there. So you can see the stairs directly ahead. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
The reason I stopped to talk so long about this, because we talk about it every week. They finally announced it's opening, dun dun dun, this fall. Disney never gives you a specific date.
No, it's always a timeline.
It's ready, folks. As soon as this water wheel system is done and those scaffolds come down, it's ready to open. So all the rooms are decorated. It's all but done. They're just doing a little tiny bit of work left on that water wheel system. And once that's ready, it's open.
Yay.
And it's fall and we need the extra capacity. You know what else has provided a little extra capacity? New restaurant. Let's go look at Tiana's. I really want you to try Tiana's.
I'm excited for Tiana's.
It's so fantastic. I tried almost every dish there now. I got to go to a preview a couple of weeks ago with the executive chef and the Imagineers who were working on it, including Kim Irvine, whose mother was Madame Leota in the Haunted Mansion. And I tried a number of the dishes that day, and then I had a preview the day before it opened where we got to see the restaurant itself and how gorgeous it is.
Looks beautiful.
And then we were there on opening day, so we tried just about everything now. Some of it is absolutely extraordinary. It's some of the best food in the entire resort.
Sweet.
Yeah, even better than most sit-down restaurants.
What's your favorite thing?
Well, I love what they call the 7 Greens Gumbo.
Okay.
It's a vegetarian dish, but there's an option to add chicken and andouille sausage.
Oh.
So that's what I do.
Sweet.
But they also have a really delicious beef po' boy. So it's kind of like a roast beef sandwich, and it's quite good.
Yum.
They also have great mac and cheese. They have a shrimp and grits that's really good.
I saw that on the menu. That looked interesting.
Really unique items. So they've kind of decorated the front here with balloons. Those are left over from the opening day. They're kind of wilting now. And there's a long line. We'll show you what they're doing with the line. But here's something that I thought was so cool. This tree has been here since New Orleans Square first opened. And it used to just be like a concrete planter that they would paint. Well, now it's a brick planter with beautiful tiles. And the tree has survived, folks. In fact, they've given it a little extra love. It's an old tree. Tiana's has been plussed up with a number of new things, including new sign, mobile order windows so that you are able to pick up your mobile order here. Mobile order books up as soon as it becomes available in the morning.
Yep.
So if you want to mobile order here, you need to do it, you know, the second the park opens in the morning, or you will not get your mobile order, at least for now. They're really limiting the amount of mobile order, which is good, because there's a limited amount of space on the patio. Speaking of the patio, you'll see that there's a band playing back there. There's live music in a quick service restaurant.
That's
How cool is that?
fantastic.
The tables are a little smaller than they used to be, so it's pretty tight. If you have a lot of plates and a big party, you might need more than one table. They've expanded the number of tables available. So the patio used to end right here where you see this metal structure here and all those posts. There used to be a fence here, and that was the edge of the patio. Well, now the patio goes all the way out beyond that. They've built a new brick wall there, and those tables have umbrellas. Still not enough tables.
Yeah.
There are a few extra tables over here on this side that you can see. A few of it taken up by this queue line for the mobile order, which thankfully is not in use right now. I'm going to show you where more tables are going. And as we get there, our friends from Mouse Steps, all the way in from Florida. There's a triple switchback here for standby.
Jeez.
Just a tip. don't wait in a line like this. It ruins your day. So unless you're a local and you can come whenever you want, it's just really important. Mobile order in the morning, or if you get lucky and there's a rainstorm or something, hop in.
Nothing lives up California?
To you. Yeah, nothing it does. We've been having torrential
Really?
rains in the last few weeks. We had a hurricane for the first time.
Oh, you did. That's right.
It's been crazy. But when you wait too long for anything, it never lives up to the expectation.
Right.
So like even a new ride, like my rule of thumb is I never wait more than 30 minutes to 40 minutes for anything.
I'm with
Hello. One of the chefs there at the Disneyland Resort, he was one of the ones we interviewed when they previewed the restaurant. But this is a really long switchback, and I gotta tell you, it does not move fast. It's a brand new restaurant. They're just still getting used to their programming.
Yes.
But this whole area over here where this beautiful garden and fountain is, this is all gonna go away. So right now, Haunted Mansion is in Haunted Mansion holiday mode. When it closes in early January to switch back to regular mansion, they're going to pull out this garden and redo the exit of Haunted Mansion, and they're going to build a shop for the Haunted Mansion.
I saw that.
And this area is going to become...
This is where it's going?
Well, the shop's going towards the exit. We'll
Okay,
take a
that's
look
what
at
I
that in a
thought.
second. But this side, they're going to build an extended queue. You have that cool queue in Florida with like the tombstones,
Yes,
interactive
we do.
stuff.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to get too much of that, but I do think we're getting a greenhouse and some beautiful gardens and theming and new
that's pretty.
fencing. And it'll all switch back towards the back there near the train station. This fountain is going away, and in this area here, there's going to be more seating for Tiana's. The back side of that stage right there is going to be opened up so that you can experience the music.
Nice.
And it'll be like a little garden seating area with
That's
New Orleans
nice.
music. It really helps create a little placemaking for
Yeah.
the area. So I think this is all very well done. Tiana's fits the theme of New Orleans Square. Change is hard, but the way they've done this, since this has a lot more character than the rest of New Orleans Square, these trees, these big giant trees, sort of hide this restaurant.
Yeah.
So until you get there, you don't
really
know what's
know.
there. Yeah,
Are you recording?
I am.
I just want to tell you I love your post.
Oh my gosh.
My sister said, that's Dusty.
Can you just say hi to everybody? Yeah, we appreciate it. You got Oogie Boogie buckets. They're so cool. I love them.
I actually got the mayor.
Excellent. Take care, ladies. Thank you. They have so many popcorn buckets right now. They have the zero bucket. The mayor bucket is sometimes here. $29.50 for a molded plastic bucket. I can't
And
wrap my
long
brain
lines
around it.
usually for
Oh my
them.
gosh, crazy. The day that Halloween started, people were waiting in line well over an hour to get, and we had like 5 different buckets out that day, and
Yeah.
sippers, and craziness ensued. It was wild. And I won't pay that much money for plastic.
No.
My house is, all my cupboards are filled with old Disneyland plastic things that never seen the light of day
Yep.
since I bought them. What does the wait look like? 30 minutes for Haunted Mansion Holiday, kind of reinforcing what Lauren was telling us earlier, that the lines are pretty short. But what an amazing thing to wait in line for.
It is
I love
good.
Haunted Mansion Holiday. Do you think it would work at Walt Disney World?
I think it's. I would love to see something like this, but I don't think it should work there. I think it should stay here only.
Now it is in Tokyo, I believe. They've got it there, but they don't really travel here as often as folks from
Right.
Florida come here, or people from here go to Florida.
You guys get all the cool
You
stuff.
know what I would like you all to see? I would love for it to happen here, but they've already paid the money for Haunted Mansion Holiday. It'd be great if Florida could get Muppet Haunted Mansion.
I'd be okay with that.
So here we are where the shop is going to go. A little bit of what you see on the other side of that fence. Everything that you see on the side here where the covered area is, all of that stuff where the vines are, all the way over to where the exit is here, is a carriage house. There will still be an entry exit there, but the whole real reason they're doing this is because they're creating a more ADA, disability compliant area, so they'll have elevators to get folks that are using wheelchairs and other devices
that's
up
good.
and down, so it doesn't slow up the queue so much. And to hide a lot of that mechanism, they're building a big carriage house to house the merchandise. Now, currently the Haunted Mansion merchandise is all over in New Orleans Square, but as we talked about on last week's video, and what I'm thinking is now more and more likely, when that store is freed up, there's also a little shop or a little restaurant next to it, next to the Pirates queue. I think they're going to use all that as extended queue for Pirates. So we're getting a new extended queue for Mansion. When that's done, we'll get a new extended queue for Pirates, and then New Orleans Square queuing will be solved.
Nice.
So we're walking by Tiana's Foods, employee-owned in a Southern Dome salt mine. That is the upcoming Tiana's Bayou adventure.
It's a lot of words.
It doesn't sound exciting when they tell you it's an employee-owned foods. Like, it doesn't even say a ride. They're not even showing you concept art of the Bayou and what it's going to look like. It's such a mistake on their part, because what they're going to build is actually pretty incredible, but the way they're describing it makes people want to hate it. But I have to say, I really miss the tree stump on the top, and I wish they'd put Mama Odie's boat up there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't like change, but I think it's going to be a cool ride, though.
I think so. And you know what? It'll be modern. Kids know who this character is.
Yes.
They really don't know who the characters from
No.
Song of the South are, because it hasn't been shown for decades and decades. It's kind of been on the banned list by Disney. So it's nice that they're keeping it fresh. Same exact ride system, but with all new sets and story and music. And
Relatable.
I got to hear a lot of the music during a press event, and it's really good.
Oh.
I love this about Disneyland, that we can walk around our river like this, and
Beautiful.
it's not just extra walkway space like it is in Florida. Like,
Yes.
we have a show that happens. Well, that show burned up, but it's coming back.
Oh, I saw that announcement.
Early next year, we'll get our Phantasmic back. Not the way we want, without our dragon. But that was a pretty spectacular fire. Do you remember where you were when the dragon caught fire?
I don't remember where I was, but I do remember that. I have to be honest, your Phantasmic was always better than World's.
Yes.
100%.
And there's nothing wrong with Walt Disney World's Phantasmic, but in comparison, it suffers. Because part of the magic of Disneyland's Phantasmic is during the day, you're on the Tom Sawyer's Island,
Yep.
You're walking around the river, there's no hint that there's any kind of show that takes place, and then at night, light
Boom.
towers pop up out of the ground.
Yep.
The whole stage is transformed. The ship that you were on during the day is now a showpiece. It's really spectacular.
I love
and in
it.
Florida, it's in a theater with seating, and
tucked
everything
away.
that's in there was built for the show. So little tiny tugboat for Mickey, and it all feels a lot smaller, but in a much bigger space.
Yes.
So it feels tiny, like a miniature
Agreed.
version.
And you feel further away from it.
But if you'd never seen the Disneyland version, you would probably love it.
Absolutely. And I do love it. I just like the one here a little bit better.
So here we are in Galaxy's Edge. They are mostly identical between California and Florida, but the big difference is at Disneyland, you connect through to Critter Country, Big Thunder Trail, and into Fantasyland. So we have 3 entrances, which give it a slightly different look at the entry and exit. Now, you all connect through over by the Star Wars ride, Star Tours, and then on the other side to Toy Story Land, which is a really weird transition.
Yes.
But it works because they do those big tunnels and
Yep.
things. At least they've tried.
They do a good job with that stuff usually.
Here, we could connect all the way through to Toontown, and everybody says, yeah, but that would be such an awkward transition. No weirder than Toy Story Land.
Not at all.
One thing I love that they have are those big fans. In Florida, so hot in Galaxy's Edge, it's like a furnace, and it gets so much hotter and more humid there.
It's horrible.
I don't know how you all survive Florida.
It's horrible. I was there 3 weeks ago. It was stifling.
Did you get to do Mickey's Halloween party?
I did.
How was it?
It was good. It was
my
good.
gosh.
Yeah, we had a great time.
I love that event.
It's a fun event. I love the Boo to You parade.
Oh, yes. They play that music in our Esplanade.
No.
And every time they play it, I just kind of want to do a little jig.
And then you sing it for the next 3 days.
Yes. It's really not so scary. There's really no news here. There is a new character that is meeting
yeah.
and greeting with guests. She may be out. We're going to keep our eyes open for her. I don't know who she is, except she looks like that new character from the Disney Plus show, Star Wars. What's her name? She got the weird head thing. Ashoka
yeah.
something or another.
Ashoka.
Well, there's
yeah.
another one of her, I think.
Yeah, there's two different
characters.
Yeah.
They both have the same head thingy.
We have yet to find them.
Yes, I'm looking. Keeping my eyes open. She's very noticeable. Although nowadays you sometimes cannot tell the difference between a character and a guest.
Yes, especially during Halloween.
Especially during Halloween. I did do Oogie Boogie Party on the first night, and you were doing Oogie Boogie Party.
We did it last night. My first time ever.
And?
Loved it.
It's so good.
It is so good. The characters are incredible. Mission, the Guardians of the Galaxy
Yes.
monster overlay.
It's so good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I love
Loved
that.
it.
I'm so glad you got to
And we
go
got to see the
enjoy it.
Sanderson
And
sisters.
What did you think about like the treat trails with the characters in the
That
trail?
was incredible.
Isn't
Such
that
a
smart?
great use of time.
Yeah.
Loved it. And they give out a ton of candy.
Yeah, so the trail is also entertainment, so it's better for the adults.
Yes.
So any kid is going to be happy when they, get candy. But adults like, oh, okay, we're going to give the kid more candy. Well, now you can enjoy the characters. It's such a great advancement. Our parade is not as spectacular as yours, but it's similar.
It was, but very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I loved it. We did everything. I don't think we missed anything.
Oh, good. What did you think about that little scare zone walkthrough experience?
Super pretty.
Yeah. The Villains Grove is
Kind of gave me a Avatar feel.
Yes. The lighting, and during the day, it's another one of those examples of during the day, it's open to the public, and it's just a kids' play area.
You would
At
never
night,
know.
Completely transformed by music, lighting, and special effects. Well, so far, I haven't seen any characters. Of course, they don't usually appear in the marketplace, but it was too hot.
But it's cool in here.
Shades. I am trying to figure out if there's a day that I can visit Disney World in the next month and a half to see Halloween there. And I want to go to Universal. They have such a great horror nights in Orlando. It's our friend David, yeah? Hello. How are you all? Hello, boys. What's new?
Nothing.
Nothing? Did you see the new character in Star Wars? Where was she?
She comes out right here. She goes around here.
Yep.
She goes further that way, and then she comes back.
She just wanders around?
Yeah.
She doesn't do a little show or anything?
She comes out, her and Chopper, Hera and Syndulla and Chopper. The droid.
Oh, the droid.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about any of these characters, and I haven't seen the show yet, but we're on the lookout. So let us know later if you get a good picture. Please be sure to share. I'm so anxious to see what she looks like. When we are off, it was good to run into you all. Bye-bye. See, if you just hang out long enough, you get all the information you need.
Yep.
So she appears right over here by this strange magic band experience, which they also have in Florida. Some of my favorite stuff in Star Wars Land is right here. Like Luke's land speeder right there. First time I saw that, I cried.
Aw.
I grew up a Star Wars nerd.
I used to love Star Wars back. I like the old school.
That's my whole thing. Like, I love the original Star Wars, the original
too.
Star Wars characters. It's very hard for me to love this land because I don't know the characters, and it looks so desolate.
Yeah.
And I know that's what most of the planets in Star Wars are, but in a theme park setting, it seems just like hot and hostile. I would rather rather it have more of an Avatar-esque lushness and water and
Yeah, the lighting
and characters I know.
Well, we get some of them.
Which ones?
I saw R2D2 the other day.
Oh yeah, R2. But there's no C-3PO. Oh, there is also the Wookiee.
Yeah, Chewie comes
Chewie.
out.
But no Luke, Leia, Han.
Yeah,
No Darth Vader.
the good old boys.
The good This is our exercise for the week. You can when you're in the theme park setting, You can eat anything you want if you do a 1 hour live in the heat.
I feel that.
I'm so callous, I'm just zooming past the stormtroopers there. Stormtroopers, everybody. So how are we doing here on the live? I haven't been paying attention to the questions. I've been wandering and looking and trying not to trip over my own feet. So we were just talking about Halloween. I mentioned Universal's Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, which I always love. Well, they launched last night in Hollywood. And I, of course, was there. So little me, chicken that I am, wandering around in the fog and the chainsaws, and it's very different than Oogie Boogie Bash or Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Oogie Boogie's more my speed.
Universal is pretty extreme, but also this year they've toned it down a little bit, a lot more humor. Chucky was a great maze. They had one called Holidays in Hell that is really hysterical. Each room is a different holiday. So Killer Easter Bunny, Killer Santa.
Oh, that's funny.
Killer Father Time. They're a big killer, of course, because it's horror nights. But it was really funny. And then the tram tour has been turned into a terror tram, and they let you off the tram at the Bates Motel.
Oh, God.
And you get to walk the set and go up to the Bates house, the Psycho house, and then you walk through the War of the Worlds set, and then through the set from the movie Nope.
I feel like I'd have nightmares.
Oh, it's hard to have nightmares this year because the whole area is infested by giant bugs who are on the hunt to exterminate all humans.
Hate
And
that.
you remember that line from It's Tough to Be a Bug? We bugs outnumber you humans 300 million to 1.
It's true in that case, huh?
Right. And so now they're trying to exterminate us pesky humans. This is very hard to be scared in that one. So I did enjoy that. And they took the Waterworld show and turned it into a nighttime spectacular based on The Purge. And it's all new and no similarity to the Waterworld show at all. A lot of great special effects and fire effects and lasers, and it was beautiful and a lot of fun and not too scary. So I did really enjoy it this year. I'm a big Halloween lover.
I love Halloween. I don't love scary, though.
You don't love scary?
I don't do scary.
Well, yes, I love the scary and the not scary and the pumpkins. Like pumpkins.
I love pumpkins.
And I even like pumpkin spice, although I have to say, I'm burning out a little bit. Everything's pumpkin spice these days.
But it's so good.
It is good. It's very good. But I have the pumpkin spice latte and the pumpkin spice muffins and the pumpkin spice Cheerios. Everything is pumpkin spice now. It's too much.
But it's only 2 months.
Just too much.
Yeah.
Or in the case of Orlando, from the middle of August
to November 2nd.
So look at our beautiful little fantasy land with all of our beautiful completed village type fronts and how close everything is. This is a really beautiful land, and the way the Matterhorn kind of fits into this land.
Yep.
Isn't this magical?
I love it. I love it.
The castle in Florida doesn't have a walkthrough.
No.
Right? It's another thing I love about this park. There are so many things to do. On a busy day when the rides all have long lines, there are still things you can do with no wait.
Nooks and crannies.
Yes, like the castle walkthrough. And once the Treehouse reopens, the Treehouse. And so things that you can still do that don't require a long wait. Very well-rounded theme park, Disneyland.
And it's much bigger than it seems like it would be.
The park itself takes up a very small amount of space, but there are so many attractions and so many little pathways and things, it has a sense of being much bigger than it is.
Yep.
There are as many attractions in Disneyland and Walt Disney World's 4 parks. So Disneyland and California Adventure is the same exact number of rides.
I believe that, yeah,
As
that makes
all
sense.
4. But you need a whole week to do the 4 parks in Florida, and you only need 2 days at Disneyland.
Because it's so spread out,
compact.
yeah.
Short wait here for teacups, and folks, you've been on the video with me when this is backed up all the way to the parade route. So again, we're Friday light here in the parks. Friday, Saturday, Sunday continue to be the most enjoyable days of the week. We are headed in for another heat wave, unfortunately. We're in September. It's only getting hotter here. In fact, these are the hottest days of the year for Southern California is September. So it's kind of fall as far as the parks are concerned. We've switched over to Halloween, but the heat tells me it's beach weather.
Definitely.
If I could only get myself back into my beach body so I could spend time surfing.
I've been working on that for 20 years.
I need one of those. I need one of those full body swimsuits, you know, like the men used to wear.
Cover it all up.
Cover it up. Get myself a girdle and a full body swimsuit. Not a tight one, mind you.
Now this is a million times better than it is in any other park.
Isn't it neat?
It's the best one.
That it has a whole castle facade.
I love Small World here.
The one thing I would love for them to do, and they have discussed it over the years off and on, is kind of modernize the ride system and flood the building. Would be really, really nice. Also would love to see them put fiber optics into the facade so they can do more of a amazing light experience at night. But they're using projections on it. They do a Bruno show here at night.
Oh, do they? I
Yeah,
haven't
come
seen
tonight and
that.
sing along with We Don't Talk About Bruno.
I love that.
It's wonderful.
I met him last night.
Bruno?
Yeah, we're
Oh,
tight.
at Oogie Boogie. He's a handsome devil, that
He
Bruno.
is a handsome
I don't
devil.
know why they're not talking about him more. We're headed back to our newest thing, Mickey's Toontown. Did you do this yet on this
I
trip?
did. It's so cute.
Isn't
This
it
is
great?
the cutest thing. Like, just, it brings it to life here.
The quality
I love
level
that.
of the land is really high for a kid's land. And you remember when they built Mickey's Birthday or Starland, whatever it was called in Florida, and then it became like just those tents, and then for years, like,
Fantasyland.
and now it's Fantasyland expansion. It's the circus, some sideshow circus area.
Silly sideshow. Yeah,
But it never really had
Pete's
the
there.
whimsy of Mickey's Toontown.
Nope.
We're headed back here, folks, because there are a number of water effects and things that we've been keeping an eye on. Even though the land started opening back in January, there are pieces of it that have never opened to guests. So we're going to take a look. And then the other thing, it's a big problem in this land. It's a cul-de-sac, and everybody's got strollers, and the land was just jammed with strollers when it opened. So now they're parking everybody's strollers on the side of the entry walkway. I do suspect that eventually they'll dig further into this hillside and make more stroller parking.
That would make sense. I haven't done Runaway Rail yet.
It's identical to your version,
Is it?
except the queue, which is amazing.
I've heard that. But I don't know that I'll do the queue because then I have to stand in a long line.
It's not bad. Right now it's only a 30-minute queue.
Oh, that's not bad.
Which is about how long it takes just to walk through. It's actually a fairly short wait.
This is just...
So they're playing a song right now called Happy Place, and it plays throughout the land, but depending on where in the land you are, you hear a different version of it. So at the fountain here, we hear lyrics, and over here, it's kind of just the loud instrumental version. And then when you get to the back of the land, there's a little quiet zone. So if you have an overstimulated child, perhaps an autistic child, you can take them there, and they play a very soft version of the
I
music.
love that.
And there's shade and benches. It's very thoughtful land.
That sounds like a place I'd like to hang out.
I could spend a whole day there with a Powerade and a popcorn bucket.
$30 popcorn bucket.
We also got a really unique new version of the cafe, Daisy's Diner, and they serve kid-friendly food like flop-over pizzas, and they make their own kettle chips, and it's interesting. They have a boba tea that's very, very good.
Oh.
And they also have this build-your-own picnic. Have you seen that?
No.
It's a very clever idea.
Oh, and you can come sit on the grass?
Yeah.
I
so
love
you
that.
buy a picnic basket, and you get to pick out 3 items. You can get, look at this,
That is
pickles
so
and cuties
cute.
and bananas, and they have snacks and drinks, and look at that, goldfish, fruit roll-ups, all kinds of little snacks. You put them in your picnic basket. You can even buy a blanket
I love that.
and kind of sit out on the lawn and have a picnic.
That's so cute.
A very, very expensive picnic. So here's Donald's Duck Pond and Goofy's How to Play yard. The yard has seen some changes. There have been a few things that have disappeared. Donald's Duck Pond. We're taking a look, everybody. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at, first of all, it's Halloween, so we're gonna take a look at the pumpkin. Pumpkin is an homage. When this land was in its original form, there was kind of a field here with popcorn plants, and there were pumpkins everywhere that had faces. Some of those faces were designed around Disney Imagineers, and former park presidents. So that's just an homage, not an original pumpkin. But there were like little seesaws and things here. They were removed. So much has been removed. There were some spinny things over here. They have trash cans where those were just a few weeks ago. So definitely removing things already. People must have been getting hurt or they got broken. And before, you used to be able to go onto the boat.
Oh, you can't do that anymore?
Not anymore, but now they've flooded the boat. So the idea is that the characters are inside the boat. You see them swimming around back here, Lauren. I'm getting us out of the sun because I'm about ready to pause. Look at this little area there with a gate so that the parents can check their kids in to jump and jump.
I love that.
And then there's characters inside the windows, and you can use the bilge pumps to kind of drain the water. So
that's so cool.
It's flooded from the inside out. Unfortunately, this green fence over here means that the rest of Donald's boat is still broken, still not working. It's never open to guests. So this is a water play area that's behind the fence here, and it's never open to guests since the land opened. I'm just gonna show you really quick that cave that we were talking about, because now everybody's gonna wanna see it. The little sensory cave. We're making pretty good time. Can you believe we've been doing this for 45 minutes already?
Oh, wow.
Where's the time gone?
It's always that way.
They do have a Halloween bucket here right now. This is Yummy's popcorn cart. This is Yummy. He is the cutest. And that's Yummy. Do you like Yummy? I should like Yummy pillows. I want a Yummy t-shirt. I do wish that they would replace this conductor right here with Yummy or another Toontown type character. But here's our little relaxing just yard.
Oh,
There's no play equipment. It's just a yard with benches and a covered area, and it gets quieter back here. It's very nice.
Oh, this is quiet. Yeah.
Isn't this wonderful? And you can grab your Yummy popcorn and sit back here.
Basket.
Look, there's even benches. If we weren't doing the live, I would insist upon us sitting and chatting, gossiping, if you will. This girl dishes out good gossip. Look at those clouds. This doesn't even look real.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? There's the tops of the Wonder Bra Theater there where the moon is. Oh. Hi, everybody. I accidentally hit the front button, but we're still here. There used to be a treehouse that you could climb in, Chippendale's treehouse, but they tore that down. Make room for this. Sometimes less is more.
Yes, I agree.
I see some regular Mice Chat viewers that sometimes follow us around on the live. Jeffrey and Ondo. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Ondo. How are you, my friends? Great. Did you ride Haunted Mansion Holiday? How was it?
It was spectacular.
It was spectacular. Good. Did you see the Candleman? The Candleman? They're in the attic scene where the piano normally is. Well, the piano's there. It's just kind of hidden. There's a candelabra, and just behind the candelabra below is a little Candleman that is inspired by Rolly Crump's Candleman from his proposed Museum of the Weird.
Right.
And since Rolly just passed away a few months ago, they put that little tribute to him in Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Aww.
I thought that was such a lovely thing. And it's just a small thing, but it's the sentiment that this big giant company still has people that care about the folks who created it all.
I love the nods back to people.
Me too. There's a lot of things hidden in this land that are sort of an homage back to Walt Disney. The Imagineers who built the new Toontown really are Disney lovers and historians, and the ride queue is just filled with Disney's history. It's really more of a museum to Mickey Mouse's history and Walt Disney history than anything else, and it's just spectacular.
I love
Nods
that.
to the original Mouseketeers and all the early Mickey Mouse shorts, and really well done.
I love that.
Lots of little, every number in that queue is a date for something, you know, historic in the Disney company.
All right, I'll stand in the line.
I know, I've been talking to you and I've been like forgetting that I have this camera in my hand and I'm just like waving it around, so people must think I'm drunk. Which I assure you I am not, folks. Not yet. Somebody contacted me earlier and they said that they hoped that I was fired up mad about the settlement of the Magic Key thing because they like me best when I'm bitchy. But I'm too happy because I'm here with you, Lauren, and Jeffrey and Ando. Now Nathan is down in San Diego. He got cast in a major opera. He's got a solo in it. I'm very happy for him. Did you know that Nathan was an opera singer, everybody? It's true.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Now, for weeks, we have been avoiding Tomorrowland, in part because nothing has been going on there. Every time we go under there, it makes that fart noise, and I'm always sure that people are going to think that that was me.
Well, hopefully, I don't think it's me.
It was the tunes. See our Lion King show too. It is really good.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen yet.
When you get hot and tired, just go in there and sit down. Super high energy, beautifully sung and danced. It's just a great cast. But not today, because that's the last
It's over.
showing of the day. So tomorrow's going to be a big day. They're going to make a lot of announcements at Destination D, and you can pay attention to Mice Chat, and we'll have all the info for you as it happens. We may or may not know a few of what those things are. I am very excited about some of them, but definitely not all of them, so we will have things to say. The hotter it gets, the slower crowds become, and it becomes a little more difficult to navigate. But when you're doing a live video like this, you can't move too slow or people get bored and they tune out. But
Makes
you can't
sense.
move so fast that you sweat and drop dead. So it's really a balancing act. I'm still learning what that mix is. For years now, I've kind of switched over to just drinking water. Throughout the day, I try to avoid sodas and things like that. But I have found that on really hot days like this, if I get a Powerade, which does have a lot of sugar in it, and electrolytes, I survive better than
I believe
with
that.
just water. I have also been using, I saw it at Costco, and some mommy blogger friends of mine said they use this product called Liquid IV.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a powdered, drink mix, and you put it into your bottled water and shake it up. And it's absolutely delicious. I only use like a quarter of a packet instead of the amount that they recommend. But it's delicious, and it does have electrolytes, and it does help me drink more water. I think that's really the key. It makes you want to drink more liquids. 20-minute wait for Matterhorn. This is not busy, folks. It's not terrible. So if you can afford that expensive Friday, Saturday, Sunday ticket, do it. You get an experience more akin to this. When did you arrive?
Monday.
How has the weekday been? Busier?
No, it actually was pretty quiet.
Really?
Yeah, but we also did a day over at Universal.
How was that?
It was good. It was quiet. We
Really?
did that on Wednesday. It was dead.
Weekday, kids are back in school.
Yep.
Disneyland, that is true. Kids are back in school even for here. But people are more likely to pull their kids out of school for Disneyland than they are anything else.
Makes sense.
So Knott's Berry Farm and Universal Studios during the week, pretty dead this time of year. Universal is fantastic. Did you do the Nintendo World?
Oh my God.
Isn't that
yes.
great?
It's so immersive.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Just even if you're wandering around the land itself is an attraction.
Yes.
With all the interactive stuff and the characters
And the
moving around them.
characters.
Yes. And the food, did you get to do the cafe?
We did. We ate in the cafe.
That's really good.
It was really good.
Yeah, I love it. This is one of the most magical things in any theme park anywhere in the world, and we're just going to take a moment to reflect in the glory that is the submarine lagoon. Breathe in the lagoon water and breathe it out again because you don't want what's in that water.
No.
A lot of glory. They added Hank not too long ago, so we have that octopus there. Do you miss the sub lagoon in Florida?
No, I'm not. I did that once. I can't. I'm a little claustrophobic.
Yeah, it's a very claustrophobic attraction.
It's so cute though.
I would hate to see the attraction go away because this is such a magical lagoon, but like you, I very rarely ever go in there because it's stinky and it's wet.
Yep.
And I hate the staircase. It's slow to load and unload.
But it is
if they could
super
fix
cute.
that, if they could come up with a more efficient submarine. At one point, Disneyland had one of the largest submarine fleets in the world. So if we ever go to war with another country, Disneyland
They're on it.
may be called into battle with the submarines from the lagoon. We're gonna walk by, the rope is up so we can't walk through there. They do a dance party here at night on this stage and the characters come out in their Halloween costumes and dance
I love
to
that.
DJ music. It's really cute.
We'll have to come over and do that tonight.
Some of you may recognize the vines that are on stage because a couple of years ago they were used at Oogie Boogie Bash. Yep. My favorite is when Clarabelle Cow comes out in her Halloween costume and she dances.
That's cute.
Yeah. Clarabelle Cow is a full-on nerd, and I adore her.
I don't disagree with that.
So far on your trip, you've been here since Monday, so that's a long week already.
Yeah.
What have been the highlights for you all?
Oogie Boogie.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Oogie Boogie, hands down.
Did you go home, back to your hotel with gigantic bags full of candy?
So we stopped collecting candy after we filled one bag because we're never going to eat it. We're never going to take it home. And I figured leave it for other people to eat it.
I usually end up doing Mickey's Not So Scary Party in Florida right before a Disney cruise because I always stop at Disney World for a day or two. And then we get the candy and take it on the cruise with us.
That's perfect.
And then you're sure to leave the cruise, plenty
Little
fattened
treats.
up. Yeah, so that when the aliens abduct you, they're well fed.
Or they can't lift
The cows and chickens are corn fed and the people are all Mickey's chocolate fed. So they've been doing this magic band thing, and I don't know if it's still going on, where if you are a magic key holder and you buy anything, then you can get a free magic key magic band. They have a lot of magic key magic bands left to get rid of.
I got one.
Did you?
I did.
For free?
Yeah. Well,
Yay.
I bought a bottle of water, but yeah.
That's great. Are you a magic key holder?
I am.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you did the math and it was worth it?
It was, because I just make sure I come, because I have the Enchant one.
Yes.
So I'm blocked out on most weekends, but I can come during the week, so it doesn't matter.
So
to me.
I need everybody, it's Halloween time, so I think we all need to do a little spell. We're looking at Space Mountain, and they have a version of our Space Mountain called Ghost Galaxy, which they did not do this year for Halloween.
Okay.
So I just want everybody, I want you to get an item or a thought in your head, and I want you to do this spell with us because we want to bring back Ghost Galaxy. So here's how you do it. You go to your computer and you write, I will never buy another Disneyland ticket until they bring back Ghost Galaxy, and you send it to guest relations. Poof! The spell has been cast. Let's see what happens.
Does that work?
I hope so. I miss Ghost Galaxy, and you know, with that very scary overlay of Guardians of the Galaxy, there's no reason why they can't do this. They claim it was too scary for kids. But it's no scarier than Guardians of the Galaxy or Haunted Mansion Holiday or any of the numbers, or even Snow White's Not So Scary Adventure.
Which is terrifying.
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 Have you been on it this trip?
No, not
They
this trip.
redid it.
Did they? Oh, no.
It's an all new version of the ride.
Ah.
So you have to ride it.
I have to ride it.
It's one of the best things in the resort.
Really?
Yes.
All right, I'll do it after
And
this.
terrifying still. They made it not as scary, which is still scary. I'm just going to show you the different bottle toppers and things now. They have the Alien Straw, the Mike Wazowski Pumpkin bottle topper, the Maleficent bottle topper, and they have an Orange Citrus Churro. We've never had Orangeburg here, but his merchandise shows up every once in a while from Florida. But if you're going to do an Orange Citrus Churro, you need to have Orangeburg.
I agree. He's so cute. I love him.
He is cute. Universal came up with a cute character this year that's not unlike Orangeburg. It's a little pumpkin with a cute little face. And I bought the hat, and now I think I'm going to go back and buy the sweatshirt. He's so cute.
Aw, I didn't see that.
There's no wait for Star Tours, no one waiting outside. 15-minute wait means essentially it's a walk-on. No one in queue for Astro Orbiter.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the lines were longer during the week than this.
All about the money. The money. And if Disney is thinking about raising prices on Magic Keys just to get themselves paid back, keep in mind, Disney, look how empty your park is. You need Magic Key holders to help fill this place up when it's not busy.
Can't even go that high.
And they are going to do away with reservations in Florida.
Yeah, are
That's
you guys
great
getting
news.
that?
Well, unknown.
Unknown?
I think that it's much more likely to remain here, at least at busy times of the year, because Disneyland is so much smaller and
Okay.
so in demand, and there are so many locals, and many of them have Magic Keys and would come all the time.
Yep.
But one of the reasons that the Magic Keys are unavailable right now may very well be because they're going to rethink the program, change the pricing, and perhaps they are planning to do away
That
with
makes sense.
reservations, at least like they did in Florida there transitionally, where you needed one if you were going before 3, I think it was,
Yeah.
and then after 3 you didn't need
But
one.
annual pass holders still need it for next year, as of now.
Oh, they do.
As of now, yeah.
So what they're trying to do is prioritize people paying full price over people that are getting the discount.
Yep.
Let's just take a quick look at the wait times here. So we head back down to the end of our journey. Here's the please buy a Magic Band sign, but when that goes away, we will see what the waits are. 25 minutes for Alice in Wonderland, that's pretty long. 25 minutes for Peter Pan's Flight. Interesting, the 2 longest waits on this page are both Fantasyland rides, 5 minutes for Snow White, Winnie the Pooh, Jungle Cruise is 15 minutes. Very short waits. 45 minutes, Autopia is long. Haunted Mansion Holiday, 90 minutes. I'm very curious what Rise of the Resistance is. So again, don't forget to buy your Magic Bands for hands-free access. Where do we see? Millennium Falcon is 10 minutes, and Star
40.
Wars Rise of the Resistance is only 40 minutes, folks. 40 minutes is like nothing for that ride. 35 minutes for Mickey and Minnie. This is a really great day to be here. You know what? Maybe when this live is over, I will become a tourist for a few minutes. I very rarely ride any rides, but when the waits are this short,
You almost have to, right?
you almost have to. Ladies, I'm so sorry. We're just going to step through.
Excuse me, sorry.
The chipmunks, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Now you all know, and Lauren definitely does not know. So folks, will you join me in indoctrinating Lauren to the Children of the Corn?
Oh, jeez.
Here we go. Hopefully she isn't sacrificed to the Children of the Corn, because here inside this mild-mannered Christmas store is the most terrifying thing that you will see all year, because these children want to eat your soul.
Oh my God.
Look into their soulless eyes.
That is
Do their
great.
bidding, Lauren, or they shall devour your soul.
That is great.
Aren't
I
they
love
wonderful?
that.
And look at this great theming up here for Halloween. The old masks and
Oh,
the
wow.
fairy hats and these kind of busts of masks on the top shelf there. All stuff that you can't really buy in here. But isn't it great?
This is great.
And there's air conditioning.
Bonus.
And look at this fun wreath with the purple skeleton eyes.
I love this
Oh,
shop.
that was lovely.
Cute.
To spend hours just enjoying that air conditioning. Well, it's crowded. It's almost parade time. If you all are going to watch the parade, this viewing is the best one. Have
Okay.
you seen it yet?
We did, yeah.
Oh, good. You don't need to see it more than once, but it's
Oh,
such
it's
a good
so
parade.
good. The music is phenomenal.
It
The
is.
dancers are amazing.
I agree. It's a really good parade.
I think it's the best.
I do think that's one thing that Disneyland does, and sometimes Florida gets things that are bigger to accommodate, more guests, but Disneyland tends to have better performances.
Agreed.
We have better choreography. Now granted, if you've got performers dancing their heart outs in the parade route in Florida, chances are one or two will drop dead in every performance because
Not
of the
wrong.
heat.
No,
Humidity.
I agree with that.
And
I
here,
think,
most of the year, you can survive it.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at this cute old vintage cat in the
Where are you
window.
going? Sorry, I was trying to get around you.
See that on the bench there? This scary cat
Oh,
pillow?
yeah.
Isn't that fabulous? I
That's
always have
cute.
to look. I'm a window
Oh, I love the blanket
window
too.
watcher, folks. And they have that little clown. This is scary Victorian. Like anything Victorian is terrifying.
It's classic, though.
I'm going to show you one more thing before we finish up here, because I love the macabre, and we're almost done. We have like 2 minutes here, folks. Stick with us. I'm just going to show you another very scary Halloweenish kind of thing that very few people know about. But there's all sorts of really creepy stuff on Main Street that is of the Victorian era. Very busy. We think we showed you all of the ravens and Fortuosity in the last couple of weeks. See all the ravens in there?
Oh, yeah.
Like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Huh.
But that's not the scary thing. The scary thing are these windows.
Oh, wow.
And they have all of this actual antiques. And it's too crowded for us to stop, folks, but I'm going to swing by and encourage all of you to come by and see the creepy dolls and Raggedy Ann and Andy's. But inside, there's even more creepiness. In these windows, if you've ever seen these windows, and we're right next to Fortuosity, they've taken
wow.
old implements and they've turned them into things. So here's an old clock with a little bit of a teapot and a woman's face and a hand, and over here there's a mannequin's head with some weird thing on top and a monocle, and it's like atop a bird cage that is filled with pocket watches. There's a hand over here with needles in it. Like all of this stuff, and this is not Halloween. This is here
All the time.
all year round.
Oh, wow.
This is just what life is like if you live in a Victorian town.
I love